Well, another beautiful day on the Mornington Peninsula. Jay, what do you reckon we go and get some King George whiting this morning?
Mate, look at the conditions out there. It is flat as, so I think we're in for a very good chance.
Now, we've come with no bait on purpose just to show the viewers that you don't need to go out with bait. And why is that?
Well, mate, we can go catch our own bait. We've got a few options out there.
Yep.
Might even have to get you wet.
Why do I always have to get in the water? We've got a great day, as I said. I'm looking forward to it. Let's go catch some whiting.
Always the safety chain off last, always last.
Well, thanks, Jay. It's making me go into the water. Today I'm getting in because we want to catch some bait for our King George whiting, and I've chosen mussel. That's right, mussel is just as good as pippy and you can catch it yourself. Now, I've already tested the water in closer than a metre of water. It's a lot warmer in there, but out here where the mussels are, a little bit cooler. So, Jay, thanks, mate. I hope you can catch your bait soon.
I'll be staying dry for my bait too, Charlie.
Thanks, mate, thanks. It's very important when you're diving for shellfish to wear gloves, particular for mussels, because you grab them and there could be things like blue ring octopus. You don't want to get bitten by one of them. Also too, I don't just grab the mussels, I use one of these abalone tools. They haven't got an actual point on them. They're great for getting in the reef and pulling them out. Safety first, guys, because you don't want to get bitten by anything.
Getting a few there, Charlie.
That current's pretty strong, mate. I should have worn my big flippers. Okay, we got enough now. Let's go get some whiting. I love it when a plan comes together. There you go, Jay. There is my bait for our King George whiting. Mussels.
How was the water, mate?
It was very cold. Very cold, mate.
Well, you know, they say something that you can't teach an old dog new tricks.
Yeah, what's that?
I can actually teach an old dog new tricks, and I can teach him dry tricks as well, Charlie.
What's he on about?
I'll show you something, mate. Let's go and have a look.
Sounds interesting.
This is the way I actually collect my mussels. I don't have to get wet. And there you have them. Yep.
Don't believe it. You could have told me before I got wet.
Well, it's my turn to catch some bait, Charlie, for the whiting session. So, as we said earlier, we're going to go get some calamari. Second cast we're on. Fantastic stuff. Arrived at the whiting grounds. Now I have a bit of a sequence of events that I do. As soon as I get to the whiting grounds, the first thing I do is I get the burley out. Check this bit, Charlie. Now the reason I do this, Charlie, and folks out there, is We've got a bit of stuff to organise. We've got some rigs to make up. We've got some mussels to shuck. We've got some calamari to cut up. While we're doing that, we may as well get this burley out there dispensing and finding those fish for us. So by the time we're ready to get the lines in the water, the fish should be around us. Now we've got our burley out there, so while we're getting that burley working through the water column, shucking some mussels. Pretty easy way to do these. I just crack them on top, opens them straight up, get the blade in there, and you can shuck them straight out. As you can see, folks, we've done our prep work for our baits. Now, part of the reason I was saying we did this in a bit of a procession before was getting that burley out there, working through the water, gives us time to get everything ready. Generally, when the whiting are on, they're on. You don't want to be cracking mussels, pippies in between each fish. You want to have everything ready to go, because that bite time may only be a window of 20 minutes, 30 minutes. So the preparation you do beforehand makes it really effective when those fish are hitting. As you can see, folks, adding a bit of the old stimulate, concentrate bait. And what this does, it's got a bit of a fleck in it, so it does help attract the fish. I call this the secret sexual sauce for the whiting. Couple of the other, or basically my favourite piece of bait off the calamari is the fella tentacle. It's a really nice soft piece, and the whiting just absolutely love it. From that piece I generally go to the wings or the flaps, as we know. Off those little whiting, they're really nice and tender as well. And then from that we go to the tube or the hood, which I've cut into nice little strips. These are quite tender, so we don't actually need to bash them and soften them up, so they're quite fine to use. Let's get them out there, see how we go. As you can see, Charlie, preparation's worked. We had that bait in the water for all of 2 minutes. So we've taken our time. Well, burley's working for us, and the results are already on the board. A little bit of a small one. I think we'll put this one back, Charlie.
It looked like my mussel. Of course, it's got to be the mussel that the fish took, not squid. I don't think so. Might even be a little flatty. But Jay's right. All that preparation, and straight away, we haven't got the ideal conditions here, guys. We've got wind against tide. It is about to change. That's why we've come at this time. But you can only catch the fish that are there, and there you go. Bit small. We're letting this guy go away too. We're just coming onto that slack water, and I normally find that the whiting actually slow down a bit in my experience, Charlie. You actually like it, but I do prefer a bit of faster running water. And what we do find as well is during different times of that current, you will get different sized fish moving in. This one's a little bit better. We'll definitely keep him. And as you can see, little circle KL hook straight in the corner of the mouth there. Great stuff. Let's get some more. As Jay said, the tide's slowly slowing down. It is now flooding. And what we're going to do is we're going to actually walk the baits, and by walking the baits, when we throw it out and slowly flick it back, it's worked really well over the years, and I'm pretty sure it's going to work here today. We've just got this other fish now, and I just dropped him. Yeah, just dropped him. Oh well, that happens. There's going to be plenty more. Well, I dropped that other one, and straight away, and I mean straight away, guys, I was on. And that walking the bait really does, ooh, nice fish. Walking the bait really does work. And you just flick it out and just slowly walk it back and wind a little bit. There you go. King George whiting on the beautiful Mornington Peninsula. Okay.
What I'm going to show you now is how I go straight from an Iggy setup to a whiting setup. Always use these little Iggy snaps, which are a breeding, or I've actually got some other ones which are an NT snap at the moment. Straight off, if you're using mono as a leader for your Iggy, that's fine, leave it on there. What we're going to do is not even going to use a swivel. We're going to use a piece of line roughly about 2 meters long, and I'm going to turn that into a single whiting rig. Check this out. So we're using KL 10 whiting hooks here. Sometimes I also use a size 6 shinner, which I actually really like as well. I do find these a bit of a thicker gauge hook, and they don't break quite as easily as the shinners do on say little puffer fish or a little wrasse or something like that. So all I'm doing is a quick uni knot. So we've got our KL hook on. Now we're just using a couple of little beads. I generally like to use a couple of different shades of red. As you can see, one's a little bit more pink, one's a bit more orange there. Straight down to the hook. This is pretty much it. All I'm going to do now is a double overhanded knot. We're fishing in a bit of current at the moment, so I'm going to be running a lead of approximately 1.5 meters. Over double-handed knot is just a basic granny knot. And I pull that through. That becomes my dropper for the sinker. I've now got this as a main line, which I'll attach to the Iggy snap. Once again, I'm just going to do another double-handed or double overhanded knot. There's the top double-handed knot. Put that straight onto the Iggy snap. And there we have it, a whiting rig inside of a minute. Just need probably a 2-ounce lead sinker today, put it on that dropper, away we go. Now I do have another little trick. New line cutter I just bought. Picked this up while I was overseas. As you can see, all you do is put the line through the cutter and it's done.
Damn banjo sharks. Part of fishing on the Mornington Peninsula. Today we're doing alright with the King George whiting. And how do you clean them? Well, it's over to Con.
Hello everyone. King George whiting. We all know it. We've all eaten it. How many of us know how to fillet it? So we're going to show you how to fillet it. There's 2 ways of doing it. There's a butterfly or there's single fillets. So we'll start with we'll scale them and we'll get them ready for filleting. So just watch what we do and we'll teach you how to do King George whiting. So get our scaler. Give them a quick scale. Get the underbelly as well, just be careful, it gets a bit soft under here. Everyone knows King George whiting. Everyone's probably caught King George whiting. One of our best eating table fish, caught in Victorian waters. Very popular, very expensive. Probably better to go out and catch them than go and buy them. You'll pay $40, $45 a kilo for fillets. So we'll start with a butterfly. Butterfly, what we do is we cut the head, you lose the head, and then we run the knife along the backbone. Then we run the knife backwards, over the rib cage, down to the tail, and you've opened it up. That's your first cut. You're going to do exactly the same thing on the other side. Run it along the backbone and then straight back up over the rib cage, over the rib cage, and then this stuff here, you just rub it with your finger. That all comes off. You can discard that, and that's your butterflied King George whiting fillet. Fingers on, put your hand on it. Once you're in, put your hand on it, support the whole fish, just run along. It's that easy. There's one. Same on the other side. Put hand on top, keep it flat to the board, run it along. There's your second fillet. You can get rid of that. Give them a wash. And now we get rid of the rib cage, which is just here. Just very lightly. Get rid of any bones. Clean it up a bit. There's your first one. Same with this, just get rid of the rib cage, clean it up a bit, and it's that easy. So there's your two cuts. You got your butterflied, or you got your single fillets, which most people will do the single fillets.
Such a fun fish to catch, these whiting. Really good fun to catch with your mates actually, because you can normally get into each other, have a bit of a competition. As you saw there, I just threw out some of those mussel shells. Another fantastic King George whiting.
Amazing how far squid fishing has come over the last few years. And Jay, he's so stubborn, he won't show me his little techniques. He says, no, I'm not showing you. So I'm going to fix him up. I've got a bloke that I'm going to call right now. I'm actually going to invite this guy on the show and we'll fix Jay up. Let's see if we can get him. Yeah, g'day. Jay's just actually hooking up while we're talking here. Mate, it's Charlie Mickleth. Paul, how are you?
I'm great, Charlie. How are you?
Well, look, I'm a little bit upset with Jay. He just won't show me his squid techniques. He reckons he's the best.
There's a lot of people out there that already are the best.
Yeah, mate, so look, I thought we'd fix him up. I'd like you to come on the boat if you could, and we'd get Shae actually out, because she's never caught a squid before. And you could show her, and he's pulling in this whiting. Have a look at this whiting. Yeah, okay, go away, go away. And you could show Shae exactly what to do, and also we'll fix Jay up. How about we do that?
Mate, that would be a pleasure and an absolute honour to come in and talk to you guys. I've been meaning to catch up with you for a long time, so thank you, Charlie.
All right, Mr. Paul Carter, coming on Savage Seas Adventures very, very soon. Looking forward to it, mate. I'll call you back when we are at port.
Thanks, Charlie. Just before you go, let Jay know that he can stick that whiting on a squid spike and it'll work wonders for him.
Good on you, mate. See you later.
Thanks, mate.
Well, there you go, Paul Carter.
Fantastic, mate.
Coming up.
Might have to get you on to some squid finally now.
Yeah, I know.
Old school versus new school, mate. What are we going to do?
I'm looking forward to it. Should be a great day. Well, the current has really picked up now, and what I do when that happens is I get rid of the long leader because it can actually spin, and I just use one dropper there, one dropper there, as you can see, very small, and that stops the spinning. And as I said to you, current is one of the things that you really need to learn about when you're fishing Southern and Port Phillip Bay. And these booklets are great because they actually tell you the current rates. And just open it up, there you go. So you've got your actual rates there, so you know exactly how fast the current is going before you get here. So you can use this size sinker and use this particular rig and that bait at that time. You know you've got to change it at 2 o'clock or 3 o'clock. Preparation, you've seen that all day, it works. The harder you work, the luckier you will get, for sure.
We're just using that little end bit as a bit of a stopper or a keeper for the mussel there. There we go. I've just started to go off the bite a little bit, so I've decided to mix it up. Use a bit of the old marinated mussels that we've got, and combining that with a little strip of squid or calamari there. So creating a bit of a cocktail bait. It's working well. Yeah, you can see that little bit of mussel still in his gob there.
Another King George whiting, and they have been sensational today. Just about at the end now. Getting a bit cold. There you go. I reckon we can go home, mate. What do you reckon?
Sounds good to me. We've got enough for a feed. Leave them biting. And as they say, Charlie, there's no need to always take your bag, mate.
No, not at all. We've got enough for feed. That's the main thing. What a fantastic session. Jay, what a great one.
Doesn't get much better than this, does it really, Charlie?
Now we're showing the folks at home that we caught the mussels, then you caught the squid.
Yep.
Which then we caught the whiting. Now we're going to do something with the whiting. What are we going to do?
We're going to have it for dinner, mate, but other than that...
We are actually, they're great eating.
Other than that, I think we might have to convert one of these whiting into a snapper.
That's right, and that's what it's all about, showing you that you can catch the bait and then go and catch your species. You don't have to go to the market and get it. It's all right here in southern end Port Phillip Bay, correct?
That's it, mate, and not only can we get a feed of these whiting, but we can leave the leftovers for the bait as well, so mate, how good is it?
It's pretty good going. So the next time you see us, hopefully we'll be hooked into a nice red.
Sounds like a plan.
Absolutely.